Why are women always unhappy? It's a provocative question, isn't it? A question that on the surface might feel like a sweeping generalization, perhaps even unfair, but let's be honest. It's a question whispered in quiet moments, pondered in frustrated sighs, and sometimes shouted in the heat of an argument. It's a feeling, a perception that many of us, regardless of our gender, have encountered in our lives, whether we see it in the women around us or perhaps in ourselves. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, let's be crystal clear. This isn't about labeling every single woman as unhappy, nor is it about blaming anyone. Far from it. This is an invitation, a journey into the hidden layers beneath that question, to explore the profound, often unspoken truths that contribute to a pervasive sense of dissatisfaction, a quiet yearning, or an underlying struggle that many women experience. It's about peeling back the layers of societal expectations, psychological burdens, and even the subtle whispers of our own biology, to understand a complex reality that no one openly discusses. Think about it for a moment. In an era where women have more opportunities, more freedom, and more choices than perhaps at any other point in history, why does this question still echo? Why, amidst career successes, loving families, and vibrant social lives, does an undercurrent of something less than contentment often persist? What are the invisible threads that tie women not to outright misery, but to a perpetual state of striving, a feeling of not quite being enough, or a sense that something crucial is always missing? Stay with me, because what we're about to explore dives deep into the human condition itself, revealing insights that might just change the way you perceive the lives of women, and perhaps even your own pursuit of happiness. And trust me, the answers are far more nuanced and far more illuminating than any simple explanation could ever offer. This isn't just another video. It's a shared exploration into the very heart of what it means to be a woman navigating the modern world. So, let's begin our journey by looking at the most glaring, yet often unacknowledged, burden, the myth of having it all. From a young age, many women are subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, told that they can and should achieve everything. A thriving career, a perfect family, a beautiful home, an active social life, a sculpted physique, and a calm, composed demeanor while juggling it all. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? The dream of limitless potential. But what happens when this dream meets reality? Imagine Sarah, a brilliant marketing executive. She works long hours, excels in her field, and is constantly pushing for promotions. She also has 2 young children, a husband, and a desire to maintain a beautiful home. She wakes up before dawn, checks emails, gets the kids ready for school, rushes to work, performs at a high level, leaves work to pick up the children, manages homework, cooks dinner, handles bedtime routines, and then only then does she get to collapse, often with the nagging feeling that she hasn't done enough in any single area. Her career could be further along. Her children deserve more focused attention. Her house isn't perfectly organized, and she certainly hasn't had time for herself, let alone her husband. This isn't just about busy schedules, it's about the internal pressure to perfectly embody conflicting ideals. Society often praises the career woman, the nurturing mother, the supportive partner, the independent spirit, the aesthetically pleasing individual. But it rarely acknowledges that these roles, when demanded simultaneously and perfectly, are not just difficult, but often fundamentally incompatible for a single human being. This creates a state of perpetual psychological tug-of-war. And here's where a profound psychological concept comes into play: the paradox of choice. Coined by psychologist Barry Schwartz, this idea suggests that while having more choices might seem liberating, it can actually lead to increased anxiety, decision paralysis, dissatisfaction, and even depression. For women, this plays out on a grand scale. We have choices today that our grandmothers could only dream of, yet this vast landscape of possibility also means a vast landscape of potential failures, regrets, and comparisons. Should she prioritize her career or her family? Should she strive for financial independence or embrace a more traditional role? Should she pursue her creative passion or focus on stability? Each choice comes with an implicit trade-off. And in a world that tells her she can have it all, choosing one path often feels like failing at another. The endless scroll of social media, showcasing curated lives of perfection, only amplifies this, creating a constant, insidious comparison trap. Every perfect photo of a friend's family vacation or a colleague's career achievement becomes another subtle reminder of what she isn't doing, what she hasn't achieved, what she isn't perfectly embodying. The result, a pervasive sense of inadequacy and a feeling that true contentment is always just beyond reach. But the pressures don't stop there. Let's talk about something often invisible, yet profoundly draining: emotional labor. This isn't about physical tasks, it's the unseen work of managing emotions, relationships, and atmospheres. Women disproportionately shoulder the burden of emotional labor in families, friendships, and workplaces. Who remembers to send the birthday card? Who organizes the family gathering? Who mediates the argument between siblings? Who notices that a friend is feeling down and reaches out? Who anticipates the needs of others and proactively addresses them? Consider Maya. She's often the one making sure everyone feels heard at family dinners, managing unspoken tensions, and gently steering conversations away from conflict. At work, she's the one her male colleagues often turn to for empathy or to diffuse a tense situation. She's the glue, the emotional barometer. And while these traits are often lauded as strengths, they come at a significant cost. This constant emotional monitoring and managing is exhausting. It means she's constantly attuned to the needs and feelings of others, often at the expense of her own. She might spend her entire day tending to the emotional landscape of everyone else, only to return home feeling utterly depleted, without ever having the space to process her own emotions or needs. This invisible workload often goes unacknowledged, unthanked, and uncompensated. It's simply expected, and when it's not done, or not done perfectly, the blame often falls on her. This relentless giving of emotional energy creates a deep, quiet fatigue, a sense that she is perpetually pouring from an empty cup, leading to resentment and, yes, a profound sense of unhappiness. Moving deeper, we must confront the cultural narratives that shape our understanding of women's worth. For centuries, and even today, a woman's value has often been implicitly or explicitly tied to her appearance, her relational status as a wife, a mother, a daughter, and her ability to be pleasing and nurturing. While we've made strides toward gender equality, these deeply ingrained cultural stories don't simply vanish overnight. They seep into our subconscious, influencing how women perceive themselves and how society perceives them. Think of the constant bombardment of images and messages about unattainable beauty standards, the pressure to look perpetually young, to fit into a certain size, to always be effortlessly attractive. This isn't just about vanity, it's about the implicit message that a woman's worth is inextricably linked to her external presentation. This creates a relentless internal critic, fostering body image issues, self-doubt, and a constant fear of aging or losing her perceived value. It means that even if a woman is achieving incredible things in her career or personal life, she can still be plagued by a feeling of not being enough because she doesn't meet an impossible aesthetic ideal. And it's not just about looks. There's also the societal expectation for women to be nice, to be accommodating, to be agreeable, often at the expense of their own boundaries and needs. A woman who is assertive, who expresses anger, or who prioritizes her own desires can often be labeled as difficult, demanding, or even unfeminine. This double standard forces women to often suppress their authentic selves, to silence their voices, and to put on a performance of pleasantness even when they are seething inside. This dissonance between inner truth and outer presentation is a powerful source of internal conflict and unhappiness. Now, let's briefly touch upon a fascinating philosophical idea related to the human struggle between desire and reality. It's the concept of hedonic adaptation, also known as the hedonic treadmill. This idea suggests that humans quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness despite major positive or negative events or life changes. We get a new job, a new car, a beautiful home, and for a short time, our happiness spikes. But then we adapt, and our baseline level of contentment returns, often leaving us chasing the next thing we believe will finally make us truly happy. For women, especially those caught in the relentless pursuit of having it all, this treadmill can be particularly cruel.